The clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 931.
House Resolution 931 by Representative Silcox of the 52nd. A resolution recognizing January 27th, 2020 is International Holocaust Remembrance Day and for other purposes.
Chair recognizes Chairman Silcox for an invite resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, as we celebrate International Holocaust Remembrance Day, I have some special guests that I would like to introduce. First, Sally Levine, who's Executive Director of the Georgia Commission on the Holocaust. Next, Chair of the Board of Directors for the Commission, Dr. Claire D'Agostino. And then from the Israeli Consulate, Mr. Harold Hirschberg, Director of Government and Political Affairs. Then Mr. Alex Gandler, who's Deputy Consul General for Israel. And last but not least, the new Consul General of Israel to the Southeast United States as of July, Ms. Anat Sultan Dedan. Consul General Sultan Dedan began in the Israeli Diplomatic Corps in 2004 and has also served in Cameroon, the Netherlands, Germany, and Australia. She holds both bachelor's and master's degrees from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. She is married, and she and her husband have 3 daughters. Consul General Sultan Dedan, I would like to present to you this resolution as passed by the Georgia House of Representatives commemorating the International Holocaust Remembrance Day and the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. Please welcome the Consul General for her remarks.
Thank you. Speaker Ralston, Madam Chair, members of the Georgia State House, thank you for the honor to be able to address you on behalf of the State of Israel on this very important day as we mark the International Holocaust Remembrance Day and 75 years to the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp. On the day of liberation, approximately 7,000 survivors were liberated. That is what had remained of over 1 million Jews who had been deported there. From 1941 to 1945, 6 million Jews were systematically murdered throughout Nazi Germany and German-occupied territories in what would become the largest genocide and the darkest of chapters in history. Holocaust scholar Professor Yehuda Bauel, while delivering a speech to the German Bundestag in 1998, said, "I come from a people who gave the 10 Commandments to the world. Time has come to strengthen them by 3 additional ones, which we ought to adopt and commit ourselves to. Thou shalt not be a perpetrator, thou shalt not be a victim, and thou shalt never, but never, be a bystander." Just last week, we received in Israel over 40 world leaders who took part in the 5th World Holocaust Forum in Jerusalem, among them United States Vice President Mike Pence and Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The attendance of so many world leaders reflected the important recognition of the global responsibility and commitment to Holocaust remembrance and to combating anti-Semitism. 75 years after the end of the Holocaust, we know all too well that anti-Semitism is unfortunately not confined to the books of history. There are those who still today seek the destruction of the Jewish people and Israel, the nation-state of the Jewish people. Globally, including in the United States, the alarming rise in expressions of anti-Semitism is a further reminder of the vital importance of educating about the Holocaust, of educating about the dangers of anti-Semitism, racism, xenophobia, and all forms of hate. The state of Georgia's commitment to Holocaust remembrance and education is well reflected in the Georgia Commission on the Holocaust, made a permanent state agency in 1998 by act of the Georgia General Assembly. today on the Capitol, Holocaust survivors and liberators from Georgia will be honored on panels to be hung and unveiled. Such actions taken by Georgia for remembrance and education are of immense importance when we speak of never again. As I stand here today, I am not only grateful for Georgia's commitment to Holocaust remembrance and combating anti-Semitism, I am also grateful for the strong bilateral relations that Israel and Georgia enjoy on so many levels. I am proud to represent Israel here in Georgia and proud that we have a consulate in Atlanta since 1956, a testimony to the importance that Israel attaches to the relations with the great state of Georgia. The state of Georgia's Department of Economic Development has had representation in Israel since 1994, recognizing the great value and potential in our bilateral economic relations. Our economic cooperation for the benefit of both our peoples continues to grow, as do academic exchanges, cultural relations, and so much more. There is still more room to further strengthen and deepen the relations, and I look forward to working with all of you towards enhancing the state of Israel's relations with the great state of Georgia. Thank you.